What if I told you the strongest man alive hates running? That he shattered his knees, grew up in chaos, and still became a legend by mastering pain? This is David Goggins, and his story will change the way you see your own limits. Goggins doesn't take vacations. Instead, he builds mental aid stations into daily routines. Showers, meals, driving, where he completely shuts off his mind. This allows him to grind non-stop without burning out, motivated by the letters of people whose lives he's impacted. He criticizes the motivational industry for preaching without living the struggle and embraces being uncommon among uncommon men. His key lesson: perform without purpose. Most need external goals to act, but Goggins trains himself to show up daily regardless of reward. True growth comes from consistent effort, running, working out, studying, rather than sporadic achievements. He hates running, yet each step is a victory over his inner demons, proving resilience isn't health-dependent but mindset-driven. Decades of knee pain became his new normal. After severe injury and surgery, including metal plates and misaligned bones, he refused to stop. His meniscus was so hardened from years of abuse that it broke surgical tools. Even post-surgery, with swelling, instability, and blood pooling in his knee, he continued running, showing his belief in pushing the body beyond limits. 4 months after his meniscus surgery, Goggins was still limping, convinced he'd never run again. At his wife's urging, he saw Dr. Gamal, a top knee specialist in New York. The doctor was shocked Goggins had accomplished so much on such damaged knees. The first option was an unloader brace to shift weight off the damaged side. No surgery, no miracle fix. Dr. Gamal also presented a brutal alternative: high tibial osteotomy, HTO, which involved breaking and realigning his tibia to transfer weight from the destroyed medial meniscus to his intact lateral meniscus. It wouldn't restore cartilage, but offered the best chance to keep running. Goggins realized his knee had been misaligned his whole life, explaining decades of damage. He wasn't eligible for an artificial meniscus. The HTO alone eliminated the bone-on-bone grind. The bigger lesson was mental. Goggins had trained to adapt when doors close. If running ended, he wouldn't give up. He'd pivot, reset, and keep moving. Inspired by the fight you just saw? Subscribe and don't miss what's next. Goggins emphasizes front-loading life, grinding while you can, so setbacks hit you with resources, pride, and experience to lean on. Having done military service, ultra races, and set records, he accepts potential limits without regret, ready for the next chapter with resilience and no self-pity. He also rejects labels like masochist or crazy, focusing instead on a mental journey to understand his mind deeply. He deliberately seeks pain and struggle because real lessons and survival skills come from darkness, not comfort. Growing up with abuse, poverty, and a stutter, he studied the darkness like a scientist, analyzing low moments on paper to extract wisdom. Goggins compares the mind to a cluttered garage. Discipline requires clearing mental chaos first. Waking up early or working hard isn't enough if your mind is disorganized. During extreme endurance challenges like the Moab 240, Goggins treats pain as a lab, recording lessons in real time to turn suffering into knowledge. Each dark or painful moment becomes a classroom. He emphasizes that growth doesn't come from comfort or top-level success, but from the struggle itself. Physical suffering compresses years of lessons into hours, forcing mental adaptation. Most people perform only up to their talent. When talent ends, they crumble. Lacking natural talent, Goggins built an unbreakable mind, creating a persona capable of outlasting and outgritting anyone, ready for extreme challenges and the unexpected. Goggins says that talent can be a curse. Naturally, talented fighters win early, so they never develop the mental grit needed for true challenges. Real danger comes from those deep-end certified who can survive extreme adversity. Goggins admits he once became a part-time savage, living comfortably and avoiding hard self-conversations, but brutal honesty forced him back into the deep end. Every morning, Goggins holds a meeting with himself, reviewing mistakes and weaknesses. He values hard conversations, direct honesty, and discipline over sugarcoating or excuses. Change requires effort. Shortcuts or self-pity only keep people weak. Even after huge accomplishments, Goggins pushes beyond comfort, running extra miles, staying ready, because life can test you anytime. The goal isn't preparation for one event, it's perpetual readiness. Goggins and Cam relentlessly push each other. Spontaneous runs, brutal paces, and grueling gym sessions. Goggins calls small breaks mental aid stations, using them to recharge before the next challenge. He admits self-doubt arises, but adapts, resets, and keeps going. Failure, he says, doesn't exist. Every attempt counts. The only real failure is not trying. Goggins opens about his past, overweight, insecure, fat, and sloppy, and how confronting demons built his resilience. Early wounds, like low self-esteem, linger even after success. Most people see highlights, but not the daily struggle against quitting. He compares personal growth to chiseling a rough stone. Daily effort shapes potential. The ultimate fear isn't death. It's reaching the end of life without fully realizing your capabilities. That vision drives him, keeping him from quitting and wasting his chance. Goggins recalls running past a graveyard at 300 pounds, realizing he didn't want to die full of regret. That thought fueled his purpose, pushing himself through extreme runs, gym sessions, and pain to build belief. His childhood was brutal. An abusive father, chaos at home. Seeking closure from his dad, he realized his father's demons stemmed from his own unresolved trauma. Goggins decided to face his own demons rather than wait for apologies. He credits his mother's courage for shaping him, witnessing her abuse and standing up to protect her even as a young boy. These early experiences instilled resilience, forcing him to confront suffering directly. For Goggins, exceptional mental toughness comes from enduring hell, facing insecurities, and relentlessly working every day without escape or excuses. Goggins' childhood was a nightmare. His mother, shut off from the world, later married a man in prison. When he wrote "Can't Hurt Me," she didn't want parts of her story shared out of embarrassment. Goggins explains that growing up witnessing his mom endure such hell shaped him profoundly. After leaving his father, his mom sought love, security, and validation, marrying several times, including a prisoner who had murdered a woman. When her partner Wilmoth was killed in a brutal shooting, she shut down emotionally, and Goggins, still a teenager, observed it firsthand. As a teen, Goggins discovered his mom had a secret relationship with the prisoner while working at a university and teaching in prison. He felt blindsided, but gradually understood her need for connection after surviving trauma. This experience reinforced his early exposure to life's harsh realities and the resilience needed to endure them. While at Air Force boot camp, Goggins worried about his mom marrying a man who had killed someone. He first met him at graduation and saw firsthand how dangerous the situation was. The marriage ended in divorce after 2 years. The man later died from an overdose. This period taught Goggins to prioritize others while reading people's true character, a skill honed from growing up around difficult, broken individuals. Goggins also experienced betrayal in the SEAL community. A SEAL Team 6 member spread false rumors claiming Goggins never deployed or refused to fight, partly out of jealousy. Goggins had actually deployed twice and missed others due to heart surgeries. He used proof, including his Iraq medal, to counter the lies. The experience reinforced his view that some people's attacks come from their own demons, and he remains committed to honesty, refusing to tolerate deceit. He explains that the SEALs who attacked him were part of a toxic clique, so he chose not to retaliate publicly, valuing self-respect over vengeance. Despite gathering proof with lawyers, he let it go. One main accuser spread lies online and even started a YouTube channel, though he had deployed with Goggins. This taught Goggins that some people's attacks stem from deep personal demons. He also realized that the SEALs he idolized weren't always the flawless figures he imagined, reinforcing the lesson that extreme effort must come from personal drive, not illusions of others. Goggins rejects the myth that his feats came from being a SEAL. He points out that some SEALs coasts on reputation while he outworked everyone. Rumors and lies about his deployments arose from jealousy, but he focuses on facts: real deployments, Ranger School Honor Man, and PSD leadership in Iraq. He calls out SEALs who criticize him while hiding flaws, and he's learned to handle jealousy and criticism without vengeance. Goggins also emphasizes that being uncommon among the uncommon is lonely and attracts haters. He advises not to waste energy on lies or social media hate, since it steals focus from loved ones and meaningful work. Personal tragedies, like a boy's suicide despite admiring him, fuel his drive to speak up, push limits, and help others confront challenges head-on. Goggins emphasizes the responsibility of being a public figure. People share their struggles with him, which drives him to set a high standard, stay honest, and inspire action. Tragedies, like a boy's suicide, motivate him to push limits and guide others. His daily routines, Tabata sprints, cold plunges, intense workouts, teach discipline, mental toughness, and resilience. He highlights cold exposure for mental and hormonal benefits, citing Andrew Huberman's research, and stresses that enduring discomfort transforms mindset, strengthens self-control, and helps people go beyond their comfort zones. His philosophy: many dreams die while suffering, so pushing through pain is essential. He analyzes elite MMA fighters, praising their technical skill, discipline, and mental toughness over raw talent alone. He highlights Mighty Mouse, John Jones, Ryan Spann, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, and Charles Oliveira, noting how focus, full training camps, and personal discipline transform performance. Age isn't the main limit. Grind, injuries, and mindset matter most. He explains the toll of repeated hits, weight cuts, and micro-injuries, showing how bodies and brains adapt or fail. Technique, focus, and relentless mental preparation, like the Gracie family demonstrates, often outweigh size and natural talent. Goggins highlights the Gracie family's revolutionary impact. Smaller, skillful fighters can defeat larger opponents through technique, discipline, and mental toughness. He emphasizes elite practitioners like Rickson Gracie, who combined physical skill with mental practices such as breathwork and meditating in frozen rivers, and modern champions like Gordon Ryan, who train year-round with extreme focus. Success at this level demands talent, relentless work ethic, mental resilience, and a willingness to endure extreme discomfort, qualities most people misinterpret as obsession. Goggins stresses that true lessons come from facing extreme moments. Surviving them builds resilience, understanding, and insights that can't be taught. Discomfort is unavoidable, and confronting it head-on is essential to growth. Goggins emphasizes that repetition and facing discomfort don't eliminate pain. They teach you how to navigate it, breathe, and endure. He compares his first book to a bachelor's degree and this one to a master's. It's not self-help, it's about taking responsibility for your life. True satisfaction comes from achievement and pushing yourself, not from handouts or entitlement. Real transformation arises from changing your mindset, not just your circumstances or appearance. Even starting weak or struggling, anyone can develop extraordinary mental strength and discipline. His latest book builds on this, showing that evolving your mindset is essential for true growth, making it as powerful, if not more, than Can't Hurt Me. David Goggins isn't just that tough Navy SEAL with crazy stories. He's proof that no matter where you start, you can build a mind stronger than pain. And his story isn't just about him, it's about you. The pain you've survived, the hard times you've endured, and the battles no one knows about. So when life pushes you down, remember, you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. Stay hard, stay true.